there very long, but they just moved right on. I think it's the same thing today. It's all about Ohio State. It's all about their competing. It's all about their shooting and rebounding and all the different things that we need to be really good at, and that's where their focus has been, and that's where I think it'll remain, and I think that's why it's such a special group, because they never really let down, and I think to do what they've done and to have a share of this title and to be able to look at that as an accomplishment is great, but I don't think there's any of them, I really don't, that are spending any time thinking about what they've done. It's more about what they're doing and they're about to do, and that's what they're trying to really get themselves ready for, and I think that's a great sign of a mature team. So as far as Ohio State, they're better from when we played them the last time, because they're getting fouled a lot more. The last 5 games they've made, they've made more free throws than their opponents attempted. Deshaun Thomas is way up in his free throw shooting. Lenzel Smith is shooting the ball at a high rate. They're rebounding it well. They're getting fouled. They're winning games. They're really good and really good. So there's no doubt in our mind that it's going to be an incredible battle. And obviously there'll be a lot of emotion surrounding the game and the building, but we need the energy and just the absolute excitement to override any of the emotion of it. And I think that's what's going to be really, we're going to need that from our fans, and we're certainly going to need that from all of our players, coaches, staff, everybody. So, go ahead.
Did you get a sense, especially from the juniors and seniors, that they still, as the season goes on, even with the high ranking, the success, that they still kind of have a chip on their shoulder from those first couple of years, that they still think people...
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is. We don't spend a ton of time talking about that. A little bit we'll reference certain things, but yeah, I would say that's good. But I'd say that's just part of what's gotten them to this point. I don't think we ever get to this point if that chip wasn't pretty strong. So no, I don't see any of that leaving. We've got a group of guys that they've never been entitled, and they don't play like that. They don't act like that. Even when we haven't had great games, it wasn't like we just showed up at the game. We haven't had any of that, and I'd be really concerned if we did, but it's never been that way. So some games we played better than others. There's other aspects of the game that we've done better than others in those games, but never in a sense that they feel like there's some sort of special unit because of a ranking or because of the win-loss record or anything like that. We've got a very battle-ready group.
You talked about emotion.
Go ahead, Zach.
Okay, you talked about not letting, I guess, emotion override sort of focus and intensity. I mean, but how much, because it's senior night, because it's this senior night, it's this class, can you remove that from tomorrow?
I didn't say that. I don't think you ever remove it. I said there will be a lot of emotion surrounding the game and surrounding the building, but the energy and the excitement of the crowd and the excitement of playing has got to override it. It's got to be. It's like we've played in a lot of games that have been surrounded by a lot of hype. You know, a lot of hoopla, highly ranked games, highly ranked television games, and you know, the leading games of the season. But because we came and we were able to focus over that, you know, we've been better. Well, at the same time, the opponent's been focusing over that as well, whether it's Michigan, whether it's Michigan State, something like that, and we don't anticipate it to be any different with Ohio State. We know they're a veteran team. We know they're extremely well coached. We know that they've got great balance in their offense. They're tremendous defensively. They're in the top 15 in the offensive efficiency rating, or defensive efficiency rating. They're one of the few teams that's ranked like that. So they're really good. There's no doubt about that.
So what makes Deshaun Thomas such a tough matchup in Europe offensively?
Oh, he's got a tremendous mindset to score. So he can score from 3. He can score up the dribble. He can score at the post. He can score in the mid post. He can offensive rebound. Gets to the foul line at a pretty high rate right now. So he's got great touch, and he's got a quick release, extremely quick release. I'd say those would be a couple things. So there's really not a matchup that he seems to struggle with. And what you've got to do is you've got to make it harder and harder for him to catch the ball. And then that's the one thing defensively you're trying to do. But he's one of those people, you could put him in any gym, any arena, anywhere, and he's probably going to make a bunch of shots, because that's probably just how he's wired.